After the full moon phase is the sixth phase, the waning gibbous phase. The waning gibbous phase is where 3/4 of the moon is lit up and only a small portion, a quarter of the moon, is darkened. Waning means to slowly get smaller. Here's a picture of the waning gibbous. As you can see, 3/4 of the moon is lit up. This transitions into the seventh phase, the last quarter moon. The last quarter moon is where half the moon is lit up and half the moon is dark. This is the opposite of the first quarter. So here's a picture of the last quarter moon. As you can see, only half the moon is lit up, and this leads into the eighth phase of the moon. The eighth phase of the moon is the waning crevice, which is the opposite of the waxing crevice. So this is the last phase before the moon fully reaches the end of its cycle, the 29-day cycle, and it just goes over the 27-day cycle of the orbit. Here is a picture of the waning crevice. As you can see, 3/4 of the moon is darkened, and the 1/4 of the moon is lit up. So we know that waxing means to get bigger, and waning means to get slower and smaller. So now that we know that the phases of the moon and we know the orbit of the moon and the tilt, they all play a very important part of a calendar, the tide schedule, and the amount of days and hours it takes for the moon to reach its full cycle of orbit around the Earth.